Hello, this is Thomas J. Linneman, author of Social Statistics, Managing Data, Conducting Analyses, Presenting Results. This is the SPSS demonstration for Chapter 6 on running a t-test. Running a t-test is very simple. We just need to tell SPSS a few things, and we get to it under Analyze, Compare Means, and then we're going to choose that third option there, Independent Samples t-test. And here we are. The variable we're going to use on which we're going to compare the means goes in the test variables box, which I know is kind of an odd phrase, but that's just what SPSS does. So we're going to use the Immigration Attitude Index, XYIMMATTINDEX. We put that in the test variables box. And then we need a variable for our two groups. And for that, we're going to use XY born, which is where the respondent was born. We'll put that in there. And once we do that, we see that SPSS has two question marks for us. That's its way of asking which groups do you want to compare, because in this variable we have only two valid categories, but other variables we may have more than that. So we need to tell it we want to compare these two groups. So we define the groups. And in this case, the only two valid values are 0 and 1. So we click Continue, and then we unclick this Effect Sizes box, and unless you're learning effect sizes, but we're not doing that in my textbook. And we click OK, and that gives us our results. So here we have our sample sizes for our two groups. We have our means. The mean for those born outside the U.S. on the Immigration Attitude Index, no surprise, is higher, and gives us the standard deviation. So if you wanted to run a t-test on your own by hand, here are the 6 pieces of information that you would use. I'm going to clean up this output just a little bit. So for example, I'm going to get rid of the standard error of the mean column. If you want to keep it in, that's fine. This box is where the t-test results are, and I'm going to get rid of that entire first line here. The equal variances assumed. I talk about this a little bit in the SPSS demonstration in the textbook. So I'm going to go in here, and it's big enough that it opens it in its own window. So I'm going to get rid of that whole, I guess I can click and drag that. Ooh, I don't want to get rid of that much. There we go, that whole first line there. I can also get rid of these, and we'll get rid of the standard error of the difference as well. So really, we only want those 4 pieces of information, which tell us that it tells us the difference between the means. It does that math for us. And don't get bothered by whether it's a positive or a minus. We just want to look at the kind of the absolute value of the difference. And it tells us that the difference between the two sample means is large enough to be able to say that p is below 0.05, and therefore we can say that in the population from which the A and ES was drawn, there is a difference between these two groups. Now it says 0.000. If we double click on that, and then click on the number. We don't even need to click on it. We just need to hover over it. It will show us. We can click on it though. That value there is way, way, way below 0.05. It's 7.485 times 10 to the 18th. So that's a very, very small number. And so actually, no, it's the decimal, so negative 18th. So it's 0.0000. I'm not going to put you through that many zeros. It's a very, very, very small number. So that is how you run a t-test in SPSS. And this is the end of this SPSS demonstration.